Given what's happening in China, for foreign capital, India is a very attractive destination now. Startup fund.
So you had stated 2 years ago during lockdown when I had interviewed you that PropTech market did not see a good capital flow and there were fewer startups. But in 2022, we are seeing a good funding is happening in PropTech market and there have been a lot of startups coming in. So what do you think how the funding scenario has been now for the PropTech market?
So look, I think Kritika, when we spoke, I think my comment was more related to sort of relative funding in terms of PropTech not raising capital as much capital relative to other sectors, and I think part of the reason for that was just the downturn in residential real estate, which we had seen since 2013. So when the underlying sector is still sort of witnessing a slowdown or is not sort of seeing a recovery which is robust, obviously businesses built on that also don't see as much of capital flow. But as we've just discussed, residential real estate has seen a recovery, and as I also said, I think it's going to continue for a while, this recovery. That would encourage investors to obviously deploy more capital in PropTech. That's part of the reason why we've seen more funding happen more lately. However, having said that, I think overall, as far as startup funding is concerned, we are seeing a slowdown relative to last year because of the overall rising interest rate scenario globally, and we are going to sort of as a sector as well suffer from that. But again, these ebbs and flows happen in startup funding, as we've seen. We saw that happen back in 2015 when things slowed down considerably, but then things bounced back stronger than ever before. So I'm pretty confident that even this sort of slowdown in startup funding, which is across the board, PropTech being no different, I think is going to continue for a while. But again, once it comes back, it's going to be stronger than ever before. India fundamentally is a big market. It's an attractive market. Given what's happening in China, for foreign capital, India is a very attractive destination now. So I believe that startup funding, from a secular trend standpoint, is going to see strong growth over the next 10 years. And PropTech is going to be no different, just given the size and scale of residential real estate and real estate as a sector. It is the second largest employer in the country, as we say, as a sector, and a significant part of our GDP. There's no reason to believe why we won't see increased funding in this sector, even within PropTech is what I mean. And as I said, part of the reason for why it was slow in the past was because of a slowdown in the sector and also a bit of lack of adoption of digital technologies in the sector, which has changed.
Yeah.
So given the upcycle and the fact that we've seen increased digitization post-COVID, I think PropTech will see a lot of investor interest going forward.